Faux textured stucco and stone is probably one of my most enjoyable techniques to create with. In this wine cellar and tasting room, I created an old world Tuscan plastered wall with breakthrough stone. I'm going to begin by using a level in my stone areas to get some vertical and horizontal lines just for accuracy, because my stones themselves will be organic in shape. I'm going to tear some tape so that it's not straight edge. I want jaggedy, misshapen edges because this is my grout. I'm going to outline all of my stones, which it's hard to see in this video here, but I did pencil them in the wall in a design that I find optically pleasing. The layout is staggered and really in a natural formation. I'm going to use, this is an AquaStone, which you can, it's a faux finishing product, but you can use any plaster, even sheet rock, wall mud compound, which you could even add some grit to it, like sand. When you apply it, I'm doing it in layers because I want it textured and I want it to have a natural shape, as if a stone was cut. Think of slate, how it's just not flat. I don't want this slick and flat. We want this like a slate, I would say. And you can't really see it until the color hits it, but there's some really nice layered textures on these stones. Be sure to pull your tape off while the plaster is wet. If you do not, they're going to pull some of that stone off with it, or it's just not going to come off. Then we'll go right to plastering the faux stucco on in a nice textured fashion, working all up and around your stone and around other elements. Here I've got a cork display that my client created, and I'm having to work around that. I'm using a trowel to layer it on textured. While your plaster is wet, you're going to want to carve some cracks and splits in around the corners of your stone, as if that plaster has broken off and fallen off the wall over the years with age. And this is going to help in that breakthrough look to be natural and old world. And while that is setting up, I'm coming in with a tinted glaze to fill in my faux grout areas. And I'm just using a sponge to just, rub it on. Once your plaster dries, you're going to come in and just roll in your base paint. I'm just using a neutral, creamy beige color, knowing that I will come in with my glaze, tinted glaze, which is darker. It's going to deepen this entire color. By the time I made it around the entire room, my original area that I started is quite dry. So I'm going to come in and start focusing on each individual brick. My color palette is 3 main colors with variations in the middle. A purpley grayish color. I've got some rusty reds and rusty yellowy oranges. They're all muted. They're also not full strength colors. I have mixed 50% glaze, acrylic glaze in each paint with 50% paint. And this gives it a nice, thin, workable medium, which I can get dark in the creases, and then I'm using a sponge to pull over and tint the relieved area. So I don't want this to look flat and painted. That's so fake. I want this to have rich depth to it. I will come in and layer in mixing the other colors just so there's a good continuity. If you look at real stone and real slate, it's just not solid, and there's hints and specks of beautiful colors throughout. I'm going to finish all the stones, regardless of the color, with this taupey, grayish, muted glaze, and that's just going to unify everything. It's going to patina it, making it look like it's just aged, and that's going to help in our old world authenticity. So once I'm done with all my stone, then I come in and I am using a 50% tinted glaze, again with 50% paint, and this is just a good raw umber chocolatey brown. I'm really grinding this into all the cracks that I carved in to enhance them. I'm using a damp sponge to pull off the reliefed areas so it's a lighter tint. This variation in color makes it look aged, and it just makes that faux stucco look so authentic. And enhancing those cracks, you wouldn't even see these carved in cracks and crevices if I didn't hit this with the glaze. You'll want to see my video on glazing and how to mix it and color choices and whatnot for more details on this, but I don't think there's anything that I use in faux finishing that I'm not using glazes. It's just an awesome medium, and there's so much you can do with it. So everything's looking antiqued, and it's really the final touch. You can see how the room's not finished. There's going to be molding, beautiful molding coming around that door, and the crown molding, and then this blank area on the wall. My client is going to do some more cork art with his wine corks, but my job is done here, and I'm quite happy with it.